Hi, I'm DC Contour, author of the Legend of the Salt of the Earth series, and I'm here today to pitch you my books. I have 3 books, and actually, fun fact, on today, May 1st, 2026, the Cleaving Earth is officially available to purchase. I know some people don't like buying stuff from Amazon, and that's totally fine. But I will say I make a little bit more money when you buy books from Amazon versus Barnes & Noble. But, just saying. So, I'm here to pitch you my book series because odds are you have never heard of these books before. Why? Because 32 people follow this YouTube channel. So if this is the first video you're ever seeing from me, you've literally never heard of me. You've literally never heard of my books. And that's why I'm literally here to tell you about it right now. Also, can I use literally one more time or at least 6 more times in this video? Maybe. Challenge accepted. I am a young adult fantasy author. These are my young adult fantasies. The Legend of the Salt of the Earth series is a 5-part series. So it is a series in that you have to read it books 1, 2, 3. Book 1, so I'll go through each book. Hopefully by the 3rd book I've sold you on this. So, book 1. This is A Change of Tide. Look. There we go. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out how this camera works. Oh, so cute. Okay, A Change of Tide. A Change of Tide is about a girl named Nellie. She's worked her whole life toward one thing, becoming a professional surfer. And she's so close. She is so close. She has this really big surf meet coming up. We're talking this is going to end in signing contracts. This is the one that's probably going to push her over and make her officially that professional surfer. She turns 18 years old right before this great big surf meet and discovers she turns into a mermaid every time she gets into the ocean. She's devastated. She's angry. She doesn't want anything to do with magic. She doesn't want anything to do with mermaids. She doesn't want anything to do with any of it. And that would be fine. Except in her history class, she just got put into a group project with Nikki, who just found out she's a witch. She's really excited about it, but has no idea how her powers work. And Emma, who's a psychic medium. So she sees visions, she talks to the dead, and she has had a vision that a big bad something is coming to their little town of Otter Sands, California. And if they can't all work together and combine their magics, they might not live to see graduation. Dun, dun, dun! I actually debated putting dun, dun, dun on the back, but then I thought that might be overkill. It is, and all 3 of the books are kind of a unique design in terms of how the book is formatted. Every single book is this is my bad copy. They put the first 25 pages in upside down, which is why this is my copy. Each book is designed in such a way that we have journal entries, and then we have first person journal entries and then third person narrative, because I thought that would be fun, and it was really fun to write. So that's book 1. So, are you ready? Spoiler alert, they don't die in book 1. How hilarious, though. How hilarious would it be? I'm over here, I'm marketing this 5-part series. There's going to be 5 books. Here's what happens in book 1. And then I'm like, oh, P.S. they died. Actually, book 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 are just empty pages. Also, it's taking me a whole year to put out a book that's literally just empty pages. Like, who does that? I do think it'd be kind of funny, though, right? Like, you open up book 2, and it just says, they all died, why are you here? There are actual words in here. That is not what happened. So, book 2. Spoiler alert, they survived book 1. And they did, in fact, graduate from high school. It was a close call there for Nellie for a minute, but with the help of her friends, she did graduate from high school. Book 2 takes place shortly after graduation. So it's been about a month since they've graduated, and Nellie went on this super epic South Africa surf / I'm a mermaid, so I body surf trip with her dad and her sister as this, oh my gosh, you graduated from high school graduation present. She had a blast. It was epic. That is Nellie. Emma just went on this awesome trip to Europe with her grandma and her aunt. She got to see all these beautiful things and eat all this delicious food. Nikki's budget looks a little more like mine, and she went to Home Depot and bought some paint and painted her room to celebrate graduating from high school. Nikki is super excited that her friends are coming home. She calls up Emma, and her number keeps saying it cannot be completed as dialed. And she's like, well, that's weird. She tries a couple more times to say, well, maybe I dialed the wrong number. Maybe my speed dial has saved the wrong number. Maybe I have the wrong number. Finally, she settles on maybe Rochelle, Emma's aunt, just paused the number. They were gone for a whole month. Maybe they just paused the number while they were gone for the month. That way they're not having to pay for a phone bill they're not even using phones for. Maybe that's all it is. Maybe they haven't reactivated. So then she calls up Nellie. Her heart is in her chest. It rings. Nellie picks up. Good. Calls Nellie and she's like, hey, are we still good to get together today? Also, have you heard from Emma? I can't get a hold of her. And then Nellie says, Emma? Emma who? Nellie does not remember that Emma exists. And as Nikki probes around, nobody seems to remember that Emma existed. Somebody has stolen Emma, magicked her out of everybody's minds, and now it's up to Nikki to figure out where did Emma go, who took her, and why magic her out of everybody's minds. Oh, also, Emma had a vision, and she told the girls, hey, I want to talk to you about this as soon as I get home. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, so there's book 2, An Obscured Glass. I didn't show you this one, did I? It's actually Emma on the front. Oh, over here. It's actually Emma on the front cover. I need to figure out how to sell this book from Emma's perspective, but it's hard when she's kidnapped. So, I don't know. The back of the book needs some work, but we're working on it. Okay. And finally, The Piece de Resistance, on account of it's the most recent book that I have. Now, admittedly, this is a proof copy. So she's a little janky in terms of these guys are all pretty and done. And this one, if you look at the 3 is way high up there. It's been adjusted, don't worry. And then again, it's got the lovely not for resale sign across it. So this is my first time right now officially pitching book 3, which is called The Cleaving Earth. I'm going to give you a little bit of a thing. This is Nikki. One of these days I'll get it right first try. That's Nikki on the front, so it won't have this weird white line on there. That's been fixed too. So I'm going to do my best. Have a human amount of grace for me. So, book 3. We are able to figure out what happened to Emma. We are able to figure out where she is and get her back. But how is still the mystery, right? Book 3. It is time to go to college. And I just realized that I start this book with a giant spoiler from book 2. So here's what I'm going to say. If you want to read book 2 with none spoilers, 0 spoilers, you're I don't want any spoilers. I want to be 100% surprised by everything I find in book 2. Do not watch the rest of this video. If you are like me and you're I don't mind spoilers, I will still end up reading it. And also my memory is such that I will probably forget said spoilers. By all means, continue. You have been warned. So, I'm going forward assuming that you know what happens in these 2 books, okay? Because that's kind of the idea, right? Is that you read them in order. So, Cam has been missing for a month. and it's time for Nikki to go to college. It should be fun. She should be excited. She is a witch going to magic college with one of her absolutely best friends in the world. She's going to school with Emma on the other side of the country, and she should be stoked, but she's not. She feels sick to her stomach about leaving her house, leaving her home in California with her little brother still missing. Things between her and Henry have cooled considerably because the second that Cam went missing, all of Nikki's energy went into trying to find him. Now, Henry and Nellie are headed off to the Mer Kingdom for who knows how long, and Nikki doesn't know if she'll ever see him again. So she has to face her fears, be willing to step into the unknown, or else risk losing everything that was ever important to her. Dun, dun, dun. Again, that's the first time I've ever given the delivery, so I'm not sure. It'll take time. It'll take time to be able to deliver that well, and I realize I need to figure out how to sell that without ruining the surprise. So, there's some food for thought. Anyway, those are my books. There's 3 of them right now. So book 1 came out in 2024. Book 2 came out in 2025. This just came out today in 2026. Book 4 will come out in 2027. And book 5 will come out in 2028. In which year the wall will finally come down. It scares me a little bit. For a fun little sneaky peeky, that's not actually a sneaky peeky, I have book 4 right here. It's just the draft. This is, it's not even formatted in terms of, it looks really, really skinny. Partially is because it's all just Times New Roman. I didn't do any fancy fonts or anything, which do take up a little bit more space. Like all of these have. There's no fancy nothing. It's just broken into chapters and regular Times New Roman. So I will be working on book 4 this year, so it'll be ready to come out by next year. And then my goal for this year is also to write book 5, which is actually right here behind us. And then it'll be it. I am thinking, I will say this really, really fast. I am thinking I kind of want to do a Kickstarter for the book 5 launch. So it would be one of these things where one of the options for, one of the tiers would just be, assuming that you've already bought all of these books, it would have options to buy each of these books individually, but then it would be one that's just book 5. You're like, I just want book 5. I don't need it to be fancy. I literally just want the book. But then I also think it'd be really fun to have book set options where you can buy all 5 and they're all different covers and have some kind, I still don't know what, but have some kind of picture, how I don't have them. I have the old Harry Potter series, but the new Harry Potter series, a lot of the newer books, if you buy them and you put them all next to each other, then it makes the silhouette of Hogwarts. I love that idea. I have no idea what the image would be. Maybe 3 girls holding hands together or something. I don't know. But whatever it was, that'd be kind of cool. I think maybe sprayed edges would be kind of cool. I think it'd be super epic to do a giant, which again, I don't have that in here either because I didn't think about it, a giant omnibus. So it's one big book that's all the books and it has a ribbon in it. I want to get crazy with it. And so have all these different options of how people could get the series if they want to get special editions. Or one of the other things I think would be really, really fun is to have a novella, a physical novella that is a Kickstarter exclusive. This is the only place you'll be able to get it is when I'm doing a Kickstarter specifically for this series. That is a little novella that is it's essentially the story all over again, but it's entirely from the villain's perspective. So it would make the most sense, obviously, to read it after having read all of this, because if you read it first, then lots of spoilers. but then all of a sudden it's like, oh my gosh, that was that and this was that and he did this, and I think that'd be really, really cool. Anyway, that's what I got. Thanks for being here. I will see you next week. Yeah, I think we have one more video in this season, and then we're closing out for the season. I think we have one more.